and the silver dollar nipples that rested atop them. My heart rate increased, and my breathing became heavier. It never mattered where I touched her. Crystal's body was so sexually in tune with mine that I didn't even have to take off my clothes to give her an orgasm. Oh, but when I did get undressed, she would return the favor like very few women I'd ever known. Having a child together bonded us, but it was the sex that kept us hungering for each other year after year. She licked her lips, and my manhood sprang to life. I flicked my wrist so I could see the time on my watch. I was wondering if Crystal was planning on a quickie or one of our all-night marathons. I'd already canceled a date to meet with her, so an all-nighter with someone of her sexual prowess was fine with me. That, of course, left only one question. "Where's your husband?" I asked, getting straight to the point. Crystal looked annoyed by my question. Yes, she was married, going on 5 years now, and she definitely preferred that I didn't mention her husband when we were getting ready to get busy. We both knew that her marital status really wasn't a factor in all this anyway. We'd played this game before, Crystal and I, through countless boyfriends and 2 husbands. She didn't make any excuses for the fact that she was a woman who needed a man in her life. She always said that she would prefer it if that man were me, but after a while, she stopped holding her breath and moved on. One thing was for sure, though. It didn't matter who she was with. If we saw each other or had the chance to talk on the phone, it was never a question of if we were going to get together, but rather when and where it would happen. He had to work 3rd shift. He'll be here sometime early tomorrow morning. Crystal slid off her bar stool and folded her arms as if to say, "So, come on, we got time, but we ain't got all night." I knew her well, and she was not about to take no for an answer, and as good as she was looking, I wasn't about to give her an argument. "Okay, but only if you're going to respect me in the morning," I teased. She didn't laugh. Instead, she came back with, "Please, you my baby daddy. I ain't got to respect you." Unfortunately, I knew she wasn't joking, and her words stung like hell. "You don't?" "Hell no. Everybody knows you ain't shit, James. As much as I love our son, I should have never had a baby with you." She'd been using this same line on me since Darnell was a baby, and now here he was, a grown man, getting ready to get married and have babies of his own. Jesus, I was getting old. "Then why do you want me to take you home? Why do you keep sleeping with me after all these years? You trying to say you ain't got no love for me?" "Please, James. You broke my heart more times than I care to remember, and in more ways than I will ever forget. I'd be a fool if I still had love for you. If you ain't got love for me, then why are you trying to sleep with me? Good dick is hard to come by," she said, like it was a simple fact of life that everyone understood. "And you've got some really good dick. Now, are we going to sit here and debate it? Or are you going to take me home and remind me why I rented a car and drove 7 hours up here instead of waiting for my husband so we could drive together?" I reached in my pocket and pulled out a $20 bill. I slapped it down on the bar, nodding my head. "You know me. Last thing I want is for anyone to make a 7-hour trip in vain," I said with a laugh. The truth of her words could have deflated my desire for her, but I knew this was not an opportunity to waste on being overly sensitive or sentimental. Besides, I had known this woman my entire adult life, and there wasn't a thing she could say that I hadn't heard at least a dozen times before. We were too far past that naive stage to believe we'd ever be anything more than what we were today. Crystal leaned in and kissed my full lips, then smiled as if I had just given her a large sum of money. The way she stared at me
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.